He puts it in! 0 seconds remaining! He seems to be fighting hard for it. Oh my goodness! What is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato! Scott! Oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through!
He's gonna get the shot! He's gonna put it in! Back to back! Backward, can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net!
High off the backboard here. Opportunity! Here comes the shot!
Hold on. Surely this can... Oh my lord!
Go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Open thing on the goal line. He did not win. Nearly over. Sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions. All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the final day of the regular season. We got match number 18 in season number 12, and oh boy, do we have a banger lineup on stream tonight. Playoff bursts, postseason bursts, eliminations, all can be at stake tonight. And I am Rocker Man, happy to be joined by the one and only Mallow. Mallow, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, dude, Rocker Man, I've been aboard this crazy train the entire season. It's been crazy. It's been wild. We're here at the end of the season. We're streaming another rival game. At least one other rival game tonight. I don't remember if we're doing another one because my mind is out the window here. But we're doing another one to start with here. It's been an absolutely insane season. So many teams are still in this thing, including the two we're going to start with. I'm super excited to be here. I can't wait to get started.
Yeah, no, I can't wait either, Mallow. And yeah, you're exactly right. Two of these teams to kick things off. We got Blaze versus Pineapples. Both these teams are trying to make it into the playoffs right here. Both of them are currently in that playoff position at the moment, Mallow. But there's still a chance they could fall down into the play-in. So a win here is going to be, it's going to be crucial, and will lock either one of these teams up in a playoff spot.
Yeah, win is definitely what you want here. You control your own destiny. It's just like how it is for the Gorgons in the Novice League for my team that I'm on. We win, we're in. That's the same exact scenario here for this lineup here with the Blaze and Pineapple. Getting here, the Pineapple, they clinch with the win. And then the Blaze also, they clinch with a win. It doesn't matter what else happens as far as, if they win and if they need help or not, because if they win, they're in. And that's one of the greatest things about, this series is there is no fingers crossed for these teams when it comes to, if I win, will I be in? If you win, you're in.
Yeah, no, that's always the most exciting part. You control your destiny, win, and you're in the playoffs. Lose, and hey, it's up in the air. So, like you mentioned, you want to control it. You want to make sure it happens. So, we'll see what happens here. And I want to give a couple of shout outs. I'm not sure if these ones are caught at the end of last stream, but I want to get them anyways. Shout out to C Money coming back for 34 months. Jacksoy gifting out 10 last stream. Neons coming back for 10 months, and then also Savage coming back today for 9 months. So much appreciated to all the subs and supporters. And we're also one follower away from 2,500, so that's kind of hype as well. So thank you all very much for supporting. And yeah, let's dive a little bit more in this matchup. We're just waiting for the players to hop on in here. But yeah, Blaze here looks like gonna be rocking with Kisby, Sanzo, and Zimity. And Mallow, there was a big trade that happened in the middle of the season, sending 2 players on this Blaze team away from Vortex and onto this Blaze squad. So that was probably one of the biggest storylines of this Blaze season.
Yeah, and with Kisby, even though he's the bottom of the Blaze roster when it comes to MMR, he has been an absolute stud when it comes to being on the pitch here. He has been what you needed on the pitch to keep this Blaze team afloat after that change, and it looks like we are getting the other team here maybe some interesting players here that I can see. Maybe there's some different names going on, but anyway, um, but we got Zimity, Sanzo, and Kisby going to be playing for the Blaze, and that trade has been absolutely huge for the Blaze.
Yeah, no, a big trade there. Sending Kisby and Sanzo to Blaze in place of Boy Wonder, who got traded back to Vortex and then ended up going to Galaxy. So some big happenings in the middle of the season. And meanwhile, Pineapples, their rosters pretty much stayed the same throughout the season here. But however, Mallow, it looks like tonight they are missing one of their main players here. No Flip 1010, the top player rating. They're messaging me that they were waiting for him, but he is not in the lobby. So that is going to be a big point here in this matchup. Will Flip be able to make it here? I mean, this is not an ideal start here. Mallow, before the match has even begun, you're missing probably your best player.
Yeah, well, you hate timing. It looks like he may have redone his setup or something before this game, and it's definitely not the time you want to do that. So I'm not sure what his thought process was on that, but it is what it is. We move on, and here we are starting out here, and we're already seeing some offensive pressure from Blaze.
Yeah, we are going to get things underway here. Win and you're in the playoffs. Lose and you might just be heading down in the play-ins and have to work your way through that bracket. So both these teams trying to clutch up and get a win. Already mentioned Blaze here in the orange tonight with Kisby, Sanzo, and Zimity. Zimity, who they signed near the middle to end part of the season as well. And then Pineapples with Marco, Squintle, and then Spaceman, who is the sub up here from the Papayas from that lower league for Flip. So I know here it's gonna be hard, Mallow, to replace a player the caliber of Flip leading the rival league in player rating. But Spaceman, he's gonna have to try to see if he can fill his big shoes.
Yeah, and I think he will. I think we will get surprised on there because there's a lot riding here, and they wouldn't just select anyone here to replace Flip here. They're going to go with someone they are very comfortable with, and they chose Spaceman here. So I will be extremely surprised if it hurts them more than helps them choosing Spaceman. But yeah, they definitely could use Flip here, but right now it's kind of a little bit of a back and forth, a double demo there by Marco and Kisby. So a little bit of a 2v2 for a second, but yeah. Right now, the Pineapples are pushing.
Yeah, Pineapples in the Blaze zone, but Kisby gonna get a long banging clear, looking for Sanzu, sends it off the backboard. Spaceman gonna dive in on that challenge, able to send it back in to Blaze's end. Squintle tries to get that one through, but he's gonna be dunked away. Zim looking to send that one towards the net. The net is wide open. He just gotta put it in. Oh my goodness, he just missed it.
What?
The wide open net, Mallow, and Zimity, he could not hit it in.
Oh my goodness, that was a novice moment right there. Goodness gracious, what an unfortunate turn of events there for Pineapples. But I hope that's not any sort of oh my goodness, no. All right, okay guys. I don't know if this is Rival or not, but I have not seen that many mistakes in Rival like that in quite a while, and we got half of this game left still, Rockerman, and no one has scored, but it's been back and forth, though. That's the thing. It's been back and forth. However, Kisby finally scores, finally getting the Blaze team on the scoreboard, but Pineapples, they still haven't registered a shot.
Yeah, that one, finally, Kisby's going to put it back in the net there. But yeah, a huge miss there from Zimity. And I was wondering if it was stream nerves, but this guy, he's been on stream before. But this is, a win or go home matchup. And, maybe just got the best of him right there as... I'm going to put that one in and a big miss. Another big miss here.
What is happening?
Marco not able to get the touch, and yeah, a couple of big misses so far as these teams, You have to wonder here
Oh,
if
wait.
it's the pressure as Kisby is gonna put that one in and Blaze is gonna send it in. But this game one is getting a little crazy.
It really is. There's definitely some pressure being felt. I am 100% convinced now because I can tell you that no matter what rank, knowing that you got to go for this and you got to do everything right. You can't make mistakes because you win, you're in. There is no question about what happens after that. So yeah, there's a lot of nervousness going on right now from both sides, but especially Blaze there, and I can't believe. Oh my goodness, we got our answer back for one of them here, and I'm guessing, is that Squintle?
Yeah, that is Squintle there. Sanzo trying to get the clear out, but it's going to end up as a pass right to Squintle, who's going to send it in the back of the net there. And the Pineapple is going to cut into the deficit a little bit here in game number one as Blaze now going to hold on to a 1-goal lead. Marco trying to jump up early. That one's going to be pinched out off the car of Sanzo. Zimini pushing that one up. Spaceman sending it down, looking for Squintle. Spaceman again, waiting on it. That one's going closer to the net. Spaceman trying to race back, but it's just off target there. He's not able to send that one on as Squintle now gonna take control here, trying to find the dribble, but he's only gonna find Zimini as Spaceman gonna have to make the clear off the backboard and does. As this one's sent up towards the midfield, Marco gonna find a clear. Kisby patiently waiting here, gonna send this one up, trying to find one more, looking for Zimini. Zim taking this one up high, trying to find the follow, gonna find the read off the backboard. Sanzo coming through now, putting off the backboard. Zim trying to jump up, but Spaceman is there first. Kisby now off the ceiling, trying to find the follow. This one sent down the net, kind of open there, but Pineapple's not quite able to race back for it as that one's gonna be cleared away. And Mallow with 45 seconds remaining here, the Pineapples are in desperate need to find one goal here.
Yeah, they are, and I think they should have had one there, but they had no boost. So I'm not sure if it was boost management or boost stealing by the Blaze there, but they needed to do something there. Spaceman kind of had a goal there. He had an opportunity to at least get it more on target, and he didn't take that opportunity. But right now, the Pineapple, oh, that's a little bit of a backward touch, but Pineapples, they're not looking too bad. Both teams aren't looking too bad other than the nervousness I think we're experiencing here. I suspect after this game one, because, I told Flip, or was talking with Flip Monday, game one does matter, but it doesn't matter at the same time because you're kind of getting a feel of what your opponent is doing, and so right now we've seen what Blaze and Pineapples are doing here. Blaze gets game one here, and that's good news if you're a Blaze fan.
Yeah, no, a big win here for Blaze. 2 goals there, but it was a little bit it was a little bit suspicious at times there. But they were able to pull out the victory in game number one, taking a big win here and a step towards, possibly sliding into that playoff spot there. So big ups there to them. And it just seemed like to me, Mallow, the Pineapples just didn't quite have the offense needed. Only 2 shots in that last game, both by Squintle. And it just seemed like the offense wasn't quite what we need to see from them.
Yeah, I agree. But the one thing I will say, Rockerman, is that they had 2 shots, but the one that wasn't saved was a goal. So so it was 100% goal. 100% on the goals. I was trying to figure out how to word it there, but 100% on the goals, and for them to get that goal, that's great. Quality over quantity. But now they need to add a little bit of more quantity to that. The one thing I will say that I just saw there, I was about to say, one thing I haven't seen a lot of in game one was bumps and demos. And I fully suspect that will pick up here starting in this game too, as we get a goal by Sanzo.
Yeah, Sanzo going to start the scoring out here for Blaze. Popping this one up. Able to follow it off the ceiling by the last defender and just able to walk that one into the back of the net. So nice play by Sanzo. Definitely one of the players that you got to be watching out for. Obviously, you mentioned that Vortex team was so solid at the beginning of the season, but making that trade definitely shook up shook up the rival league for sure there with Sanzo and Kisby heading over to Blaze. And, you know, I know Sanzo and Kisby both wanted to prove something because they believed that Vortex team could have went all the way. But instead, they are now on Blaze and trying to push their way into the playoffs here. As this one is going to be popped up in the midfield, trying to drop it down. Marco looking for the shot there. A great pass, but a great save comes through to push that one away. As Pineapples almost had a great opportunity. This one going to be pushed off their own backboard. Marco just going to try to take it around here. This one pops up in midfield. Squintle trying to drop it down, looking for Marco, but Zim is going to cut him off there. Spaceman on the dribble, but right into Zim's car. Squintle's going to look to control, able to send it up a long way. Pushing this one back, though, is Blaze towards the net. A bump comes through.
Oh my goodness.
The bump on the back end, and Sanzo is going to get the goal.
Oh man, you know, you could have argued that he was going for a touch at the same time, but what a fantastic bump, because that's exactly what he was going for there, was that bump. What a fantastic bump there. And now the Blaze team, they're up. They're sizzling 2-0 here as they're trying to go for a third goal. And Rockerman, this series is starting to walk away from the Pineapples so far.
Yeah, it is kind of getting away just a little bit here. Pineapple's going to have to find a way to bring it back down and get it back in their favor as a touch attempt comes out from Zim, but not quite on target. As Kisby dropped this one down, Sanzo is going to help him out there. Throwing this one again off the ceiling. Zim trying to get up. Marco going to meet him in the midfield. Spaceman going to bang this one out. But Sanzo, he's waiting on the wall. Able to send it back towards the net, forcing a jump up here by Squintle. This one again in the midfield. Kisby beating out the Pineapples. Trying to suffocate him a little bit here as Kisby pops it up. Sanzo is jumping. Spaceman over the top. That one's just off the post. Marco has to get up to it to clear that one off as Pineapples desperately looking to break out of their zone, but every time they attempt to do so right now, it seems like Blaze has that catch, has that control, Mallow, and Pineapples, they just can't find a way to break out.
Yeah, no, they can't, and I think it's kind of, I don't want to sound this way because I'm not trying to, but I think it's almost like a 2v3 where they're having Spaceman sit back just a little bit. And try to play a little bit of twos with the other two as Sanzo gets the hat trick in this game. And it's the Sanzo show so far for this series.
Yeah, Sanzo just going to collect that one. Not a great touch by Marco out in the midfield. And Sanzo is just going to take that one all day and put it in the back of the net here. And yeah, right now, 3-0 in favor of Blaze here. As that one is going to be taken down and popped up. Kisby trying to do something. Going to need some help from Zim. Try to put that one there. As this one's sent just off target. Squintle trying to get to it, but it's just behind him. As Spaceman trying to jump up, trying to keep some pressure here. As they desperately need it here in game 2. Down by 3. But Blaze looking to keep on the attack here. Is this one going to get by 1? Blocked up here. Squintle taking it up. Gonna a little bit of a side flip or back flip there. He's still going to try to pop it on net, but Zimity, he's waiting right there. The 50 comes through. It's going towards the net, and Marco is going to body it all the way in, and the Pineapple is going to find a goal here.
Oh my goodness. What a play there by Marco. Getting the flip reset, it looked like. I think he did. I couldn't tell. But my goodness, just absolutely bodied that ball into a goal. Great job trying to keep this Pineapple team in as, wait a minute, as Marco gets another one. It's not over yet, Rockerman. I mean, I didn't think it was over yet, but now it's definitely not over as 2 goals within like 5 seconds, really, by Marco, and we got a 3-2 ball game.
Wow, and that one, a crazy turn of events. You get 1 goal there on the Big 50, another one off the kickoffs, and all of a sudden here, with only 1:30 remaining here, another shot coming on target here. The Pineapples are trying to bring it back and see if they can snag away this game number 2. Try to tie this series up. This one pushed down midfield. Squintle. A little bit of an awkward flip back there. He is going to get it off to the side, but Kisby is racing. Spaceman trying to get to that one. Marco, he's going to beat it by 2 defenders. Zimity trying to collect this one. Going down the midfield, going to flick it over the top of one. Looking to try to find a follow, but 50 comes through in the midfield. It's back into Blaze's end. This one can be sent up high. Blaze sending that one on toward that. Squintle has to get up big And he does there. So we're down to a minute remaining here. Blaze trying to put some pressure on, forcing a double commit, but Spaceman gets it out, sends it a long way. Kisby got to make that touch. It's only so far as the backboard here. As this one popped up high, Marco trying to stop it. This one pinch up in the midfield. The net may be open here, but Kisby able to get that high pop there as they're trying to send it in. This could be a counterattack opportunity. We're down to the final 30 seconds. Pineapple's trying to send it in. A demo comes through. Ball out in the midfield. Zim, not a lot of boost. Gonna get that one up high. But Pineapple's got to put the pressure on right now if they're going to want to tie this one up and send it overtime. Kisby on the midfield. Spaceman can't get over to it. Zim is going to send it in, and Blaze is going to put their lead back to 2.
Yeah, they extend it back to 2 here, and unless something crazy happens here, I think we're gonna be seeing a Blaze 2-0 series lead here with match point. This Pineapples team, Rocker Man, they really need to pick up the offensive pace because they're kind of trying to do a lot of counterattacking, and it's not going to work for them, as we've seen so far.
Yeah, it hasn't quite worked out like they would like here, as it looks like they are gonna fall down 2-0 in the series. Blaze looking for one more, can't quite find it, but Blaze playing pretty solid here, Mallow, in this series thus far. I mean, a big performance from Sanzo with the hat trick there. A lot of pressure, 10-4 in favor of Blaze, and now the Pineapples are gonna have to try to pull back the nearly impossible here. Try to pull back this reverse sweep with a lower league sub up. It's gonna be a tough road here for sure, Mallow, for them to try to make it back in this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And just like game 1, Pineapples, they made both of the goals that weren't saved. Blaze only had 2 saves, of course. Pineapples only had 4 shots, as you mentioned, but each of the shots that weren't saved went into the goal. So if they can increase that pressure, increase the aggressiveness, and start pushing to the Blaze side of the pitch and not just wait for counterattacks, they will pretty much have a good chance of confusing and even overcoming the Blaze team here, and which now they do, because as you mentioned, they would need to reverse sweep them.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one for sure here for the Pineapples, but they're gonna have to try here. This is playoffs on the line here. This series, if whoever wins this one will guarantee themselves a spot in that top 6, straight into that playoff bracket, and not have to worry about possibly being in the play-ins there. You don't want to have to be in those best of 5s. Oh my goodness, that pass down! Kisby and Zim finding each other to start out game 3.
Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. And Zim, with no boost, doesn't need boost for that when you're on the back wall and you just trying to send it straight down and over the defenders. Beautiful play by the Blaze team, and they're starting to cook.
Yeah, they are starting to cook here, and they are smelling the sweep here, trying to confirm themselves into that playoffs here, and they're doing well so far. This one's dropped right down again to Zim. They are finding each other all over this Pineapples goal line.
I knew Zim was going to turn. I was wondering when it was going to happen. What a beautiful play there. Just basically right on Zim's nose in front of the goal. Zim just needed to turn. And 2-0 here with not even 30 seconds passing. The Pineapples, they have a tall task ahead already for this game 3.
Yeah, they do, and their task just got a little bit more tough here in this one, as the hill to climb has gotten taller. As Zim is sending out the midfield, Sanzo trying to push that one on. As this one sent out of the midfield, Kisby is up, he's shooting it towards the net.
My goodness.
He's putting it in the back, and this hill might just be growing into a mountain.
Yeah, we might be going across mountain ranges after another minute or so, Rocker Man, because if things continue, I don't know if I can say that they can come back from that, because it's been relentless by the Blaze team here, and oh my goodness, they're gonna get another one. Yep. Well, it may not even be another minute. It may be another 20 seconds at this point. It's very obvious that they're missing, their main player, the #1 player rating in rival here with with Flip. So, I'm not sure the circumstance with him. It's unfortunate. Hopefully it doesn't affect them from being able to completely, miss the play-ins or postseason. But, you would hate to see that after all that opportunity. And oh my goodness, Marco finally getting something on the board, and a little bit of life is coming back into the Pineapples right now.
Yeah, they're finally able to find one. A little bit of a double quit. Sanzo can't quite get to it. It's going to pinch into his net. But hey, you know what? That's something here for Pineapples. And there's still 350 remaining in this game number 3. So we've seen them get a couple of kickoffs, a couple of quick goals. So we know they can score. But can they keep the pressure? A little bit of a double quit comes through. This pass down to the midfield. Squintle has to get up and get big there. He does, able to get that block. As Blaze still trying to keep the pressure on. In the Pineapple's end, Spaceman trying to get it. A 50 comes through. Marco looking to take control, trying to get out to Squintle in the midfield. Squintle passing it down there, but Spaceman not quite ready to put that pressure on as this ball is sent up. Kisby out of the midfield, can't quite find that one. As it's sent back in to the Blaze zone. This ball popped up. Sanzo just holding it, trying to stay with it. Squintle there. Flip reset comes through. Nice play there. As this one sent up high. Another mid-air bump there by Kisby. As this one blocked down. A little bit of a double commit though comes through. As this is an opportunity here for Spaceman. He's trying to take it up. Trying to take it underneath. Looking for the 50. Gonna find the flip reset. But not quite able to use it as he would like. And right now, Mallow, things have died down a little bit here in this game number 3. Pineapple's still holding on. Still trying to hold on and see if they can overcome that 3-goal deficit.
Yeah, as a shot on goal there by Squintle, Sanzo able to save it, but they're still putting on the pressure, and Marco able to get a goal there. They're definitely not out of this, Rocker Man, and I'm like I said, I wasn't going to count them out just yet. Marco, earlier was throwing in the white flag, but here he is scoring both of the goals so far from Squintle assists.
Hey, maybe a little bit of some mind game tactics here. As Rocket League can be very mental here, and maybe Marco just getting that mental going a little bit here as they were down 4, but now only down by 2, and we're nearing the halfway point, or past the halfway point of this one. This one rings off the post, but Pineapple's still in this one. 2 goals straight here for them, but they are gonna have to find 2 more to extend this series to at least a possible overtime. For this one, gonna beat out Marco. Gonna get off the wall there, trying to get up to that one. Gonna find the 50. Squintle is racing out there. Gonna flip out to this one, trying to make something happen, taking it off the ceiling. Looking to drop it down, trying to find his teammate Marco. He's not quite able to get there. A really good opportunity as the Pineapples are putting on the pressure right now. Blaze a little bit starved in their corner. This one popping up. 2 players off the backboard, both with not a lot of boost. A demo comes through on the back end. Spaceman forced to send this one up high. Zim is gonna beat him to it here. The time ticking, this ball is sent down. Spaceman trying to extend it, looking to push it towards the midfield. This ball is going to pop up. Squintle going to try to do something here. He's sending it towards the backboard, but Zim is on top of that one as another demo comes through. 1.5 minutes remaining. Pineapples, Mallow, they're putting on the pressure. They're trying to break one through and seeing if they can push themselves to another game.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to wake up here. They're definitely showing a little bit of life here. I think we're seeing much better gameplay all around from the Pineapples. They need to continue this. They only have about a minute left. Spaceman making a great save there, keeping it alive, making sure that the Blaze can't run away with it, but it was all for naught as Zim passes it to Kisby, and Kisby gets a goal here. 5-2. Kisby getting his hat trick. I'm not saying it's sealed, but I think Pineapples need a miracle.
Yeah, they are going to need a little bit of a miracle here now. Once again, down by 3, under a minute remaining. Zim looking for the Cookser pinch. Going to find it down the field here. And Pineapples, every second here is taken by. The time is wasting away here for their chances at the playoffs. Possibly. This one's sent out. Blaze, though. Just know they just got to hold on. Looking for another one here. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my
Sanzo
goodness.
down the field. An absolutely insane angle and probably sealing this one up.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much going to seal the deal. Kisby getting both a playmaker and a hat trick in this game, getting 3 apiece on that. And Kisby absolutely an MVP of this game 3 here. But if you're the Pineapples, you want to try and get something to potentially prepare yourselves because you're not out of the postseason just yet, but you have a much harder road so far.
Yeah, and as the time ticks down here, it looks like that is gonna do it. Blaze gonna come through, gonna get the sweep off here and clinch themselves a spot in that postseason. So big congratulations to them on clinching that one up there with this huge win. And Mallow, they just all in all, just an excellent performance from Blaze on pretty much every facet of the game.
Yeah, it really was, and you know, you could make the excuse of the number one player rated person in Rival not being there with Flip, and making the decision to bring up a sub up from a different league, up to Rival, but really you had plenty of opportunities to try and make something happen. And you just didn't make it happen. And so, it is unfortunate for the Pineapples. It definitely isn't a showcase of what they've been able to do this season. But not all is lost for them. We'll see what happens. But congratulations to Blaze. They are now in the playoffs with this sweep, with this victory. I suspect they will probably go deep within the playoffs.
Yeah, no,
But it
they're
is very competitive, though.
yeah, yeah, rivalry is very competitive, but yeah, they have a great shot here to send it a long way. So I'm sure we will see a lot more of Blaze in the playoffs there. And Pineapples now, they're gonna have to do a little bit of scoreboard watching after that one, hoping for another loss here, hoping for the Knights to lose to Hydra if they're able to have that happen. If Knights lose to Hydra, Pineapples will also clinch a playoff berth. So kind of hoping that happens, if you're a Pineapples fan. But you know, all in all, a great series from Blaze here. Pineapples, they didn't quite perform like we wanted to, but they're still gonna be in the postseason regardless of this result here. It's just a matter of playoffs versus play-ins to start things off. So we'll have to see where they're gonna end out, Mallow. But it was definitely an interesting matchup, and congrats to Blaze, and best of luck to both these teams the rest of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to the Blaze. It was the battle of the two of the lowest cap rooms available using every single cap room they had. Obviously, the Pineapple did have a sub up for that, but um, congratulations to Zim, Sanzo, and Kisvi there for doing that. I'm very curious as the MMR, especially in Rival, isn't as big of a deal. So I'm very curious as to why Jtron wasn't there. But as we could see, um, they were able to bring out the sweep from the Blaze, just setting a blaze to the Pineapples, and they're going to the playoffs. I'm very curious what they're going to do.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it shakes out for them going forward. But yeah, congratulations to Blaze clinching the playoffs. But with that being said, we are going to have to head to a little bit of a break. But when we come back, we got some more Rival League action about to hit your screens here. And this one, the last one had some stakes. This one has some even more stakes here, as it's Distortion versus Lightspeed. Winner clinches the play-ins. Loser may just be eliminated. So Pineapples and Blaze, they at least had the solace of knowing that, hey, they're in the postseason no matter what. For these two teams, Mallow in this next one, it's win or you could be going home. So we know the stakes are going to be ramped up.
Yeah, it's gonna be, it's definitely, it's even more pressure than what we just saw here. And we saw Lightspeed on Monday, and they were an extremely scary team. So I can't wait for that one, Rocker Band. I'm happy to be able to cast this one with you. I don't know if you wanted to do anything else related to talking about postseason while we did have a couple of minutes, or if you just wanted to take the extra time because you are also streaming. Shout out to you for that. And also, by the way, shout out to the entire staff team to Nemesis this season, because we've had a rough time when it has come to the stream for a couple of seasons there, but this is the first time we have not missed a stream in a couple of seasons, which is great great for the league, for Rocket League, because we get to bring the excitement to you as we did Monday, as we're doing tonight, and as we're going to do here in the postseason coming up. Super excited, but shout out to all of the staff members that have been able to make this happen.
Yeah, definitely a lot of work behind the scenes. So shout out to everybody who's been helping out, making the streams run smoothly and keeping things going. Big ups to all you guys. Couldn't do without you. So much love as always. But yeah, with that being said, we are gonna head to a little bit of a break here. But like I said, when we come back, distortion versus lightspeed. Winning, you're in. Lose, and you might just be heading home. So make sure you guys stick around, and we will see you guys in a little bit.
Are we dreaming? places they may be alone, they may be poverty-stricken, they may be in the midst of riches, but you can always be sure the angel of God is present wherever his children are.
Can you feel it? The fire in your soul, leaping at the chance for love. Can you feel it? Haunting your senses, letting all your feelings go. But I can feel it rushing through my veins. Your love's the only drug I know. But we've been playing the hand now we're devil. We can light it up. I know that we can make it through the night, but I can feel the fire inside. So there won't be no fear tonight.
early. He puts it in. 0 seconds remaining. Both teams are gonna be fighting hard for it. Oh my goodness, Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, Scott the giant. Oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through.
Place there's Heck. He's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. On the backward. Can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Is this serious? Now, hold on. Surely this can't. Oh my lord.
Go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Stay on the goal line. He did nearly over. Sweep. It comes through. The venom, the improbable, the impossible. The 4-time champions. All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to our next matchup of the night, as we have got another great one in the books. I'm Rockerman back in the booth, joined by the one and only Ventus. And Ventus, oh boy, do we have a banger here for the 845 match.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely beautiful piece of matchup between Distortion and Lightspeed. Both these teams sitting at the very edge of the play-ins for the Rival League. Both need a win to solidify their play-in spot, with Mafiosos and Chimeras still on their tail. Mafiosos also at 8 and 9, tied with Distortion and Lightspeed. So any slip up from these two teams and Mafiosos win can spell doom for them. So an early or a big win here definitely is much needed for either team.
Yeah, it is going to be a big one. Win or you may be going home. We're keeping our eyes on the Mafiosos matchup to see what happens there, as it looks like that result is just in Ventus. Bearcats win in game number 5 over the Mafiosos. So live result coming in there. So a little bit of a shakeup on that front there. But it looks like for both of those teams, that's what they needed here for their hopes. They now are both going to need to either win this matchup or have the Chimeras lose versus Whiteout, and they'll both make it in. So some more to be determined, but really it's a win, win and you're in type of scenario, and I'm sure that's what they're focused on right now.
Yeah, and the Mafiosos loss is definitely very helpful for both these two teams. It allows both of them to have a much more potential of making it. Obviously, Chimeras still winning might spell doom for some of these teams. I'm not sure if Chimeras has the tiebreaker over Distortion and Lightspeed, or just one or the other. But yeah, either way, at this point, you just want to win this one series if you're either side, and you just want to make your own destiny. You have the ability to decide your fate. So both these teams are going to be looking at doing so this series.
Yeah, we are going to have to see who is going to be heading to the postseason and who may be heading home, as we're getting things underway here. Distortion versus Lightspeed. Distortion in the white here with MSN, Noah, and TXGE. And then Lightspeed with Deco, Landon, and Xeroxa, and Ventus. Like you mentioned, a lot of great players here, and we're going to start out with one goal here. I was going to ask for your prediction, and we get a Landon goal to start things off.
I think that with the addition of Landon onto this Lightspeed roster has just done so much for them in terms of just a very solid player, one you can easily play around. Lightspeed have been on the up and up. I do think that, I was going to say Lightspeed we're probably going to win this matchup even before Landon scored that early goal, but I mean, it definitely solidifies my prediction here. I still think it's going to be a close matchup. I do think Distortion can force it to a game 5, but I think that Lightspeed will just be too much for them to handle, especially in game 5s. They have that ability to clutch in these tough scenarios, and Landon has played in a lot of competitive leagues and stuff, so I'm really looking for him to be that veteran presence on this team, especially with players like Xeroxa and Deco, who aren't necessarily fully proven.
Yeah, definitely, and I can confirm Ventus was talking about picking Lightspeed before we got on the cast, so he's telling the truth, guys. We'll believe him. And we'll have to see, because they started out strong with that first goal, and that's what you want to do here in basically what is just like a postseason match right here between these two teams. The winner go home is certainly on the line here, as this one dropping down. Xerox gonna try to push that one in, gonna get a 50 across. Noah gonna send that one out a little further. Deco looking to take control, trying to pop it up. He's over the top of one, trying to get over the top of the second, but TXGE gonna grab that ball off the backboard. Is MSN gonna find that one? Taking a little bit of control here in their zone, but Xerox sends that one back. Deco trying to find that 50 here, looking to pop it out, looking for Xerox. 2 players are up. This one going just off the backboard. Deco trying to get to it. Follow up coming through. Slow shot on target. That one is going to be saved away, but Deco is looking to keep it back around. A good opportunity though, and Lightspeed right now, Ventus, it seems like they're just a little bit quicker on the pressure and these opportunities. This one's dropping down. Deco is going to slam it home.
Yeah, and I mean, they've just been able to hold Distortion in their own half, be very quick to the ball, as we see Landon getting a beat there. Another good touch by Xerox, just making sure, I believe that Sprinkle has a really tough time and just has to pre-jump the block. And, I mean, when you just have to keep playing the block on their shots, it's really difficult to not only regain the possession, but also break out of your half and have some offensive presence as well. So Lightspeed doing very well with just being able to keep Distortion at bay and not allow them to get any momentum going forward.
Yeah, they really have not been able to get out of their half much, as they finally do here. A shot can be parried away. This one is going to pinch out and head back into the Distortion end. This one up in the midfield, dropping down. Here comes Landon, going to slam it in. And Lightspeed, they are just moving so quick right now.
Yeah, I mean, Xeroxa has just done so much for this Lightspeed roster already. I was really looking for, obviously I said Landon to be that veteran presence, but if you have these great games from Xeroxa and Deco, who might have those nerves from stream, haven't really been shown much, and you know, if they can come out and get that confidence early on, it's going to spell doom for this Distortion roster, who has veterans of their own. I know Noah and Mason, I believe that's MSN, have both been constantly in the postseason of Nemesis Gaming League. They are veterans in themselves, and they were the #1 seed last season in the rival league. So I know that they have a lot of veteran presence and won't be affected by stream nerves. So if the Lightspeed roster can get their confidence down early and get those stream nerves out of the way, it's going to be very troublesome for Distortion, who would look to capitalize on those jitters early.
Yeah, I would certainly agree. And they're trying to find one here. Is that one is going to be sent in the back of the net? MSN puts it home, and Distortion now only down by 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great play by TXG, and I want to say it's Mason. MSN, I'll say MSN. But MSN, just a great speed there coming out from him, and able to just read that touch from his teammate. Able to get at least one back for Distortion. But as I say that, Xeroxa just going to do it all himself. Get the flip reset, go under. It looks like MSN, and then he's going to get the shot past MSN. Sorry, it was TXG. These names are so similar, to me at least. But anyways, Xeroxa just being able to take it all on his own, beat all the defenders from Distortion, and put one in the back of the net, just to, you know, keep that momentum that Distortion thought they had, just completely erase it.
Yeah, and what the heck's a vowel anyways here on Distortion? they don't really do those over there, as this one is going to go back in their zone. Lightspeed able to get that 4th goal, right back to a 3-goal lead, and yeah, Distortion really going to be looking for something here to try to break their way out. Is this one parried off to the side? MSN going to send that one up, trying to block it in the midfield. Going to find that 50, but only so far as Xeroxa. This one out to Deco. Deco going to take a little bit of control, not quite going to pick up that boost. Him and Landon a little bit awkward. Landon tries to find that 50. MSN off the backboard trying to find a touch of the midfield, but not quite on target. This one's 50'd up. Could be a dangerous ball. Lightspeed trying to capitalize, but not quite going to send that one on target here. As again, blocked up high and pushed towards the midfield. Lightspeed trying to find another one, but the time taken away here for Distortion in this game #1 here. So they're trying to find something here. Might be a possible 3-on-1 there. A big missed touch there, but Landon gonna bail out Xeroxa and able to get that one away. It's the final seconds here of game #1. Distortion gonna need the miracle of all miracles here to bring this one back, but Lightspeed just gonna look to hold this one down as another miss comes through. Xerox gonna try to stay with this one, just looking at 50, looking to play that time game. Landon sends this one up. The ball going towards the Lightspeed backboard, but not going to matter here for game #1. Lightspeed are going to come through with a big game 1 performance here, Ventus, and they really just look dominant in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, Xeroxa really stepped up big time, just controlling the space very well, getting those passes into the midfield for Landon and Deco. And I mean, Landon also played fantastic. I think that he kind of played a very aggressive first man where he was able to cut rotation a lot of the time for this light speed defense, allow Xeroxa and Deco just free space on the ball in time. And I saw a lot of the times where Landon was just pre-jumping the air dribbles coming out from distortion, just making sure that his forces were really good for his teammates. And I think that's something that's really slept on with. It's not really talked about much. You don't get stats for it, but making really good challenges to force the ball into easy spots for your teammates is a great sign of success. And when Landon's doing it that well and allowing Xeroxa so much time on the ball, it's very, very dangerous.
Yeah, Ventus, I will completely agree with you, as that is something that I love to do as well. And it doesn't get looked at a lot, is, finding those good 50s, finding those setups for your team like that. You may not necessarily get the assists, but you can set your team up for some good offensive success. And I agree with you, Landon was definitely doing that there in that game number 1, giving Distortion that quick win there. And now as we head into game number 2 here, it's up to Distortion now to find their way back into this one, as a demo trade is going to come out on the far side of the pitch. TXG going to send that one up to Noah. He's going to push this one towards the backboard. This one floating. Distortion trying to get up to it, but Lightspeed first to the ball there. Deco taking his time, trying to drop that one down. A big 50 comes through. It's coming right back down. Landon can't find the touch. This one, oh, it's going to ring off the post here, but a follow-up attempt from Mason not going to go on target. And that one was one of the ones that they are going to want back there, Ventus. A ringer off the post there. Couldn't quite send it in the net. And Distortion, it's a tough one right there.
Yeah, I mean, when you aren't able to convert on your few chances that you are getting, and it just takes such a toll on your mental, especially when you can't finish those. They haven't really gotten many chances. They only scored 1 goal last game, and Lightspeed have locked them out for the most part on their side of the half. And so when you finally get a chance like that, and it's a very good opportunity, and you make a mistake like that, it's just very tough on the mental, and one you really have to come back from and kind of just shake it off. Those things do happen. You just got to make the most of it, try to use it to your advantage. Maybe next time they won't expect a perfectly placed shot in the top corner or a post in kind of thing, and you can maybe play off it a little bit. But yeah, a big mental breaker there.
Yeah, as that demo's coming through, this one's going to ring off the post. Here comes Xeroxa trying to send it in. That one also is going to go off the post there. Mason going to find the touch there to push it off to the side, as that one getting a little bit dangerous here. But both these teams remain scoreless in this game number 2. Lightspeed hoping to put themselves on match point here with a win. And Distortion hoping to tie this series up and extend it a little further. Noah going to bang it down. Xeroxa going to find that touch off the sidewall. Mason out in the midfield. Noah trying to get up to it. Not going to find that touch, though, as Deco sends it down. Some patience here from Xerox, and not a lot of boost. He's going to send it in the corner, but double commit comes through from Distortion. This one popping up high. TXG sending it down. Landon got to use all the boost. He's the last man back there trying to find it. This one is going to be popped up there, but no one quite ready for Distortion on that one. And I feel like Ventus, it's just a little bit, but I feel like Distortion is just a little unconnected from their teammates right now.
Yeah, and usually a lot of this season we've seen that it's been Mason, Noah, and Demas, and those three have been playing together so much that when you take out that third man in Demas who went non-playing, and you put in a brand new player who you haven't played much with, they haven't found that much success. I believe in their last few games they have a negative record and have kind of struggled, especially in their losses. They haven't been super close. And so when you take out that player who you've been playing with so much and try to make a new rotation around a new third man, it becomes really difficult for that player specifically to shine. I'm still looking at Mason and Noah to play the same how they usually do and kind of be there as a rock for TXGE. But that hasn't really happened yet. We see that even those two players are out of sync of sorts and have not looked like themselves, at least in this series.
Yeah, no, they really haven't. But regardless of so far in this series, so far in this game number 2, we are still scoreless here. And that just means all Distortion needs is 1 goal here, and they can tie the series back up. This one dropping down. Deco looking to chase out for it, but not quite able to. TXG find that touch. This one can be sent across. Mason couldn't quite get back to that one. Noah gonna be bumped off this one. This ball popping by TXG, gonna send it down, but a big demo comes through. A shot attempt is coming in. Deco sends it in, and Distortion not back in time.
Yeah, that's a great demo there from Xerox. Not a great touch coming out from Mason. Kind of leaves the ball into the midfield. We saw somewhat of a double commit there once again coming off of that corner wall. And Deco gonna be just picking up a free ball in the midfield off of a good demo and a slight mistouch from the defense. Really just emanating that Lightspeed has just controlled the game so well. And maybe a double touch opportunity coming from Landon just beats that last defender. A shot on net has to be a double commit save pinch out of their half. And once again, we just see Distortion really struggling on defense, just having to throw up any semblance of defense they can, and they haven't really been able to generate any offense, being outshot 8-2.
Yeah, now the final seconds here. Got to see if they can find one quickly to force overtime. It's back in Lightspeed's end. Mason on the dribble trying to find it, but that one is going to be pushed a little bit wide. Xerox out of the midfield. Distortion trying to race to it, but it is going to touch the ground, and Lightspeed is going to put themselves up 2-0 in this series here, Ventus. And you know, a one goal win. Distortion, you know, maybe looking back at that very first opportunity, the one that just rang off the post there, a one that, you know, I would argue should have went in the back of the net if it was better placed there. But now they are gonna have to try what the Pineapples could not in our last win and you're in scenario. They're gonna have to try to pull back their reverse sweep against this Lightspeed squad.
Yeah, and it's going to be a very tall task with how well Lightspeed have been playing. Even though it was a one-goal game, just being able to mask that amount of pressure and really force Distortion on the back foot the entire game just allowed them so much control of the midfield, control of those corner boosts, and has just allowed them to suffocate Distortion in their own half. And it's going to be hard to break that momentum. Distortion, I'm really looking for Noah and Mason to step up. Both these players very, very good. Noah has been able to just essentially just pre-jump that as that first man, kind of how Landon did in game one, and just force good challenges for his teammates. But the challenges haven't been that great so far, and we haven't seen much solo play potential or mechanical ability coming out from Mason, which is another thing that we've seen greatly with this team. And so it just seems like both these players are missing a key part of what makes them very good, and they haven't shown us that yet this series. But I'm looking for those two to step up, especially in a do-or-die game like game number 3.
Yeah, this could be your season right here in this one. Like we mentioned, we saw the Mafiosos suffer a loss earlier tonight, just before this matchup. I think, regardless, I don't think either of these two teams are aware of that one. But still, they need to find this win. Otherwise, they're going to have to be relying on Whiteout to beat Chimeras. And Chimeras, they're also in a position where they need to win to get in here. The doors have opened up for them with the Mafiosos loss. So this game just so important here. And Distortion might have a big opportunity. It's 3-on-1, but the one is going to be Deco. And Deco is going to make the save. Another opportunity that Distortion is going to want back.
Yeah, and I mean, you gotta convert on those, specifically when you have both players going for that bump on the defender. I mean, I know Noah had 0 boost and really couldn't make much of that opportunity, but when you have those people going for demos, you really have to hit. You have to hit them. Like, you can't just force them into an awkward spot, because at this level, people can still avoid demos and get the ball. You have to get a bump on that last man back, and in a 3v1 opportunity, it's very crucial that you do so.
Oh, and Xerox is going to come through. Distortion starved on the defensive end. Deco hitting that one up, and Xerox with the double tap there and puts it home. Distortion just unable to get out of their zone. Ventus, they're just absolutely starved, and Lightspeed, they're continuing their offensive pressure.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of how I like how Origin plays. I know that you are an Origin player yourself, and they are just able to suffocate the defense of their opponents. They're able to steal those corner boosts, go for these bumps, just continuously put onslaughts of shots, and just whittle down the opponent. And I think that Lightspeed has been doing that very well this game, and I saw it a little bit in the Origin series on Monday. But Lightspeed just doing it almost to perfection, not allowing any pressure coming out from Distortion, and overall just have played a super solid series.
Yeah, they really have, but this one, a shot's gonna go in. Mason gonna snipe the upper 90 there, and Distortion have a little bit of life here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a great shot. They finally were able to break out. Mason stole their corner boost. Lightspeed maybe overextended a little bit in the offensive half of the pitch, and maybe got a little bit of a counterattack from Distortion to work out in their favor. The shots evening up a little bit, Distortion able to break out just in that last minute alone. And when they are able to break out, when they are able to maintain that possession, they are very threatening on the ball. I mean, Mason had a great corner boost steal and then put a great shot, perfectly placed top corner on the net. And that's something that we like to see out of him, especially when we're looking to him to step up and really make those big plays in the do or die times. He's stepped up in a big way for this Distortion roster.
Yeah, no bigger goal than that one right there. As they're trying to find another one, this ball is dropping down. A big opportunity. Landon is going to be the one to make the touch. And Distortion right now, it's a goal here to extend the series, to possibly save your season here. As this one pitched back down towards the net. Lightspeed, a little bit of a double commit, but Distortion also a little bit on that double. Ball again, back in the midfield. Then it's open, but T-Rox, oh my goodness, what a demo. He wipes out the shooter who had a clear opportunity on net here, but Distortion still hanging on. TXG trying to find a teammate, but he's going to be bumped off, sending that ball all the way back there. Another opportunity, but here's Mason off the ceiling, looking for another touch. He sends it down. Deco, he's going to grab that one, but it's going to be pushed off to the side. Again, out of the midfield, but not quite going to go on target as a demo rains through. Another ball up in the midfield. A shot is going to come in this time. It's Mason again. And Distortion get the pressure back and grab a lead here in Game 3.
And another big 50 coming out from Noah, perfectly read by Mason, and to the midfield. We see Deco just a little bit awkward, not expecting that bounce that Mason did, and Mason being a little bit further away from the ball and having the camera angle not as messed up. Deco really awkward there from that 50 from Landon, but a good demo and a good cut from Landon as well. He just wasn't able to get that last touch to allow Lightspeed to break out. And I mean, Noah and Mason both stepping up big in game number 3.
Yeah, the two people you wanted to see stepping up big here, but this one could be bad. Deco, he tries to put it in. Oh no, it's just off the post. That one would have tied us up here, and that would have been a huge goal, but instead, Distortion are going to survive just a little bit longer here as they're trying to send us to game number 4, looking to pull the first step here in their reverse sweep attempt. As they're trying to make it into the postseason. This ball in the corner now. Final 25 seconds here. Lightspeed gonna have to make a push on the offensive end. Deco gonna grab that ball, but a big 50 comes through this one by another defender. Opportunity for Lightspeed. This one sent off to the side. It's attempted a boost grab from Deco. Not gonna find it. This demo's coming through on the back, and another demo on a Lightspeed attacker. And now Lightspeed gonna have to try to take it to length of the pitch. Can't find that. Touch Mason into the corner here. Lightspeed gonna have to see if they can pop it up here. Distortion gonna try to ground it. This one sent out and into the ground, and Distortion are gonna find game 3 here, Ventus, and give themselves another chance here to extend the series.
Yeah, and that's the first step. We finally saw Mason and Noah both step up. Both were a little lackluster in game 1 and 2, but they finally were able to break out of the light speed pressure, get those solo plays, quicken up their touches and speed of play, and it caught Lightspeed off guard a little bit. We see the shot totals much more even in this game than it was last game. And, I mean, overall, Distortion just played much better. We saw a lot of times where Landon would go for these cuts and try to get a good force, but then Distortion were able to read that and make a good 50 happen in their favor that put Lightspeed awkward, and they were able to capitalize off of it. And, I mean, when you're taking a reverse sweep in mind, you just got to take it one game at a time.
Yeah, one game at a time, and that next game, it's on a fan favorite map here. Forbidden Temple for game number 4 here. Distortion hoping some chaos is in their favor here on this one as they try to send us to that 5th and final game. Winner of this matchup will be in the postseason. Loser may be heading home as this one gonna be pushed into the light speed zone. This one popped out. MSN trying to find a touchback on that one. This one out of the midfield. Opportunity for a shot, but just gonna be a little bit high from Lightspeed as TXG sends this one out. Lightspeed may get caught out here. TXG, though, not enough boost or power to send that one towards the net. That one not quite going to find its way, but Ventus, this one, such a big game here for Distortion. And, you know, when you're trying to reverse sweep here, what I like to say here, it's a lot like my mentality when I'm in game fives, that winner go home game is come out with that first goal here.
Yeah, I mean, neither team wanting to give an inch. We see a lot more pressure and presence for the midfield play, and Distortion a little bit panicky, I will say, on their defensive half. There have been a lot of double commits early in this game, just trying to make sure that they aren't the first to concede. As a team bump comes out of save having to be happening from Mason, but a follow-up shot from Landon gonna put that one home. And unfortunately for Distortion, they do not get that first goal in the series to allow their momentum to continue, and Landon takes it right back.
Yeah, that one, a clear attempt there on the shot. The shot was just a little more powerful than I think Distortion expected. Rang off the post and then able to fire that one right back in. So a tough start there if you're Distortion here in this game number 4. Again, trying to pull back the reverse sweep is not going to be easy, especially when it's a win or possibly go home game. As Landon sends that one in his own corner, but a demo has opened up some space. A big miss there. Not a lot of boost on the Lightspeed end as Distortion trying to take advantage of that demo. Noah dropping it down, looking for a teammate, but great clear off the backboard there is going to give Lightspeed a little bit of space. Noah, a little bit of a double commit with TXG as this one is sent back down. Landon with the redirect around the defense. What a shot. Landon sends it in, and Lightspeed up 2-0.
Yeah, we see Distortion once again a little bit panicky, a little bit not on the same page. We saw a touch from TXGE trying to be a pass, but it wasn't a great touch to Noah. Noah, not a great follow-up on that, having to just recover and get whatever kind of touch he could from that pass, and it really allowed Lightspeed to just have a great counterattack, a great shot coming out by Landon, a crazy shot and save coming out by Deco and Noah. Noah, absolutely insane that he was able to keep that one from going out. That looked completely in the net, but this time he will not be able to save the ball. Deco gonna put that one home. Lightspeed a 3-goal lead now, closing the door on the sweep a little bit.
Yeah, they're trying to pull it through. Noah just not able to get back to that one. He made an insane save on the first, but couldn't quite get the second. And now Lightspeed up 3-0 here in this game 4, looking to close out their opportunity. And that one, a big opportunity, but the demo actually is going to get in the way and be a detriment to Distortion's scoring chance off the kickoff. And right now, Distortion going to have to look for something here. And Ventus with halfway in this game number 4 approaching here. How do you see Distortion trying to bring it back here, trying to find these 3 goals?
They just need to be on the same page. Their comms need to clear up a little bit. Their double commits need to stop occurring, pretty much. They need to play a lot more cohesive as a unit. They're playing a lot like 3 individuals that haven't played together that much. They don't seem to have the chemistry right now. There aren't a lot of passing plays coming out. A lot of it is just trying to solo play down to the enemy half, where they can just easily force for each other and play defense as a unit. And that's really been the detriment to Distortion. They need to find a way to incorporate their other teammates into their plays and incorporate some good communication to stop these double commits from happening.
Oh my goodness, Xerox was trying to do something diabolical on the backboard there, but Distortion able to sniff it out here. And we'll have to see, can they find that connection here? A minute 45 possibly left in their season. The destiny is in their own hands here. They're going to try to bring it back. TXG send that one across, but no one is quite there. It looked like the net was open, but maybe not. Once again, just not on that same page there to find it. This one going to be pushed out. Mason trying to find that one. Going to block it out into the corner here, trying to steal the boost. Looking to see if they can keep that pressure. Noah, just a soft shot towards net, going to allow a big bang. This one not able to be touched. The shot attempt, no Deco. He can't put that one on target. A little bit of a miss, but fortunately for them, they have a 3-goal lead to work with as another miss comes through, and Deco, he strikes back again. Lightspeed looking to seal the deal and send themselves to the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, just an amazing touch by Landon to just pinch it onto the backboard, forcing TXGE and Noah to make a really tough read. Neither of them are going to be able to do so as another double commit happens. As I say, they need to clean up on the double commits. They just seem to keep happening and happening. Lightspeed really forcing them into awkward spots. Noah going to get a little bit of an open net, maybe turn the tides in Distortion's favor a little bit. A good bump coming out by TXGE on that goalie Deco. And I think it's just too little too late that Distortion are finding their footing. I think with a 3-goal lead still with a minute left, it's going to be very hard. Distortion are going to have to play very well, almost perfect, in order to force these mistakes out of Lightspeed.
Oh, as Deco with the fake, this one popped up, and Xerox is gonna put it in. And unfortunately, that is not perfection there for Distortion. Instead, Lightspeed just putting it in the back of the net there. And yeah, Ventus, they're just looking really good right now.
Yeah, I mean, Lightspeed have played so solid. Again, I think Landon has played very well. He is on the bottom of the leaderboard this series. Deco having an absolutely standout game. He's been super good as well. He's been able to just shoot the ball really well, pass really well, force these good shots on net to make bad saves. A demo there as well, maybe opening the scoring a little bit more. And Landon gonna put a sixth goal in. Definitely seems like the dagger here on the side of Distortion. They not able to complete that reverse sweep, and Lightspeed look very poised going into the play-ins.
Yeah, they are looking good here, and they're gonna close it out here. As Distortion trying to find one more with 30 seconds left, down by 5. It's all but over here. They would need the miracle of all miracles, and the way Lightspeed is playing, I don't see it in the cards. As this one popped up, Distortion looking to find one more flip reset, gonna send it in. TXG, a great shot there to put it in there. Very well done, but unfortunately for him, once again, a little bit too late.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just where Lightspeed's just throwing their players at the ball, trying to just waste as much time as possible. They can allow some scoring from Distortion to happen as long as it takes them a very long time to do. We see a fake kickoff coming out, trying to just waste some more time because you still have to score 4 goals in about 15 seconds. And if you just shave off 2 or 3 seconds at a time, it doesn't matter how good Distortion player, what kind of solo plays they can pull out. It's just not going to be enough.
Yeah, it's not gonna be enough here as the time is gonna tick down here. Lightspeed is gonna come through. They have clinched their way into the season 12 postseason with a great performance here in this series. Congratulations to them. And now for Distortion, it's gonna be a little bit of scoreboard watching here, Ventus, as they're gonna hope that the Chimeras cannot pull off the upset if they're gonna want to make it in to the postseason. But still, Lightspeed. Just very well done by them tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely showed out. They surpassed my expectations. I mean, I predicted them to win. I thought Distortion were going to be a lot better than they were. Lightspeed just really forcing these tough touches from Distortion, really forcing them to awkward spots, and Distortion just kind of not playing as a unit. Lightspeed very well played. I can't iterate that enough. They played absolutely phenomenal, or fantastic, whatever.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
It's an N. It's an N.
They just played so well, and the one thing that we'll see happen is if Chimeras doesn't win their game tonight, we will actually see a rematch between these two teams, Lightspeed and Distortion, in the play-ins as the 9 and 10 seed. So if Chimeras don't win their match, Distortion are going to have to come up with a game plan to take down the Lightspeed roster because the way that they just played isn't going to be enough to do so.
Yeah, and that would be a spicy way to kick off the play-ins. That match should be with a 9 and 10 match. That would be on a Wednesday, so that would be one heck of a way to kick things off for sure. So I guess our eyes are going to be a little bit scoreboard watching later tonight, waiting for that whiteout Chimeras result. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens on that front. But yeah, with that being said, that is going to wrap it up for this series here tonight in the Rival League. But Ventus coming back up next, though. We've got a good one. We're going to be both back in the booth for this final matchup here. And that is going to be a good one to see if Venom can do what 99.5% of teams in Nemesis history have not done, which is finish off an undefeated regular season.
Yeah, I mean, if Venom can finish this one out, they are against the Bishops, so they are poised to do so. It's not like they're playing a top 5 or top 10 team coming out. Distortion, or I believe Bishops are already eliminated from the play-ins. So it's not like they're just playing to spoil Venom's fun now. I mean, what a story from them. If they can just upset Venom and ruin the perfect season going into their playoff run. I mean, the Bishops can walk away happy, but it's going to be a great matchup nonetheless.
Yeah, it most certainly is going to be a great one. So make sure you stick around for that one. We'll be back in the booth in just a little bit there for that one. Bishops versus Venom. Can the Venom pull off the undefeated season, or will the Bishops spoil all the fun here and pull off a big upset to end off our regular season? Make sure you guys stick around. We'll be right back in a little bit for our final matchup of the night. See you guys in a bit.
Out of place, out of mind, like all the time. There's nothing else that feels like it's meant for me. But I've got a sweet escape. Under bright light, illuminate my face. Under bright light, they're shining down on us. Under bright light, illuminate your face. Under bright light, that's when I come alive. Baby, take me higher. I wanna see the whole sky. See the galaxy's reflection in your eyes. There's nothing that compares to this energy. I've got a sweet escape. Under bright light, illuminate my face. Under bright light, they're shining down on us. Under bright light, illuminate your face. Under bright light, that's when I come alive.
0 seconds remaining. He seems to be playing hard for it. Oh my goodness, Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, Scott, oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through.
Place this hit. He's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. On the backward. Can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
This here. Hold on. Surely this kid. Oh my
It's
lord.
go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, Copenhagen on the goal line. He did not
Nearly over.
sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League, where we are finally here for another perfect, amazing matchup. We have the Venom roster looking to complete their perfect season. They're looking to go 18-0, and the only thing stopping them is the Bishops. The Bishops hopefully are here to play, but right before we get into that, Rockerman, I am joined in the booth by Rockerman once again. I know he just cast with me, but Rockerman, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Ventus. We've had some great matchups so far. A lot at stake here in the last day of the regular season, and of course, we get to end it off with a great matchup to see if Venom can be one of only 5 teams in Nemesis history. We've had 734 teams in Ventus in Nemesis history that have gone and played matches, and only 4 of them have had a perfect regular season, and only 2 of those pulled off the perfect season. So Venom trying to add their names to the history books. A lot at stake for them, and for the Bishops here, trying to play spoiler. I mean, this is, they're eliminated from postseason contention, but that's not going to stop them from coming out here and trying to spoil some fun here for this Venom team.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, if I'm on the Bishops, I'm super excited for this matchup because there's nothing to lose. You can go out, just play however you want to. You could pre-jump every single touch that Venom's gonna do. Like there's nothing at stake for you and everything at stake for Venom. Venom's gonna have to be playing, so they're probably gonna be playing a little bit more cautious. They don't want to necessarily give any early leads. They want to try to secure their perfect season. And I mean, it's just gonna be a super fun matchup overall. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better way to end it off, especially the regular season. Obviously, when we get into the play-ins and the postseason, there are going to be some amazing matches. But seeing if Venom can become that number 5 team in all of Nemesis history to have a perfect regular season, I mean, who wouldn't want to cast that?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a great one for sure here, and I mean, we'll see how it turns out. I'm excited to see Bishops. They've already got their roster here with Critter, Beemar, and Rhea, I believe is how you pronounce that name. Raya? I don't know. Raya or Rhea? Maybe Raya. But Raya, Beemar, Critter, they're going to try to be the ones to take down Venom, who we just found out right before this matchup they were looking for a free agent sub before this matchup, so maybe not the best way to try to end off your perfect season attempt, but it looks like they do have Fort, who's here. So it is going to be the main 3 that we know, Kopente, Yukio Takeda, and Fort, and it looks like everybody's here in the lobby ready to lock and load.
Yeah, I mean, Venom sporting their patented roster, Fort, Kopente, and Yukio, all 3 players super, super solid. And I mean, I'm really looking for Critter on the Bishops to step up in a big way, especially with him being on multiple high-rated teams. He was on Motion during Motion's climb to the playoff race. He was on, I believe, the Assassins when they were relatively in the playoff race as well. I believe they were around even 5-5. So he's been on a lot of different teams this season. This is his 3rd or 4th team, and I'm really looking for him to make an impact. But as I say that, Bishop's already starting out on the defensive half. Yukio looking for a pass out to Kopente, but it's going to be cut up by Critter. Critter looking for a solo play, gets the touch off the ceiling, has his flip, loses his flip, doesn't use his flip in time. Kopente gonna pick that ball up in the corner, clear that one out. Fort, a great redirect back to Kopente. Kopente looking for a bump, does not get that one, and Raya is able to clear this one away. Looking for a pass of his own into the midfield. A double commit comes out from the Bishops, but Nothing gonna happen with that. Venom gonna easily clear that one away. Kopente looking for a touch, gonna get beat by Critter. Ball's just floating into the midfield. Fort has to touch it to the corner and clear this one away once again. Bishop's showing early signs of pressure in life, but as I say that, Raya just an unfortunate mistouch, allowing Venom to go up early in game 1.
Yeah, and that one, trying to save that one, just couldn't quite get the touch on that one there. Very close on the ball there. But yeah, if you're the Bishops here, Ventus, we didn't get to talk too much about like keys to this matchup here. Obviously, if you're Venom, you're heavily favored. You know, there's no reason you should lose this one, as Beamar is going to put it in off that one. A great attack on the kickoff here, just able to take it himself. No one else there for it, just a little bit too far out on that one. Flips a little bit further than he might have liked, but. The key to me here, or the key for me here, if you're the Bishops, is come out and win this first game. They didn't get the first goal, so I didn't get to talk about that, but you have to win this first game. If they don't win this first game, I don't want to say it's wraps, Ventus, but it's probably wraps here. So come win this first game, and don't let Kopente score on you like he's done to many teams this far.
Yeah, I mean, just a great 50 coming out from Fort. Beamar trying to get a pre-flip touch off target, but unfortunately just not going to be able to do so, and Kopete kind of picks up the ball back up and takes a freebie for the Venom. And that's one thing you cannot allow Venom to do, is just get these freebie easy goals. You got to make them work for every inch. You got to have these pre-jumps, these insta challenges coming out like Critter just did. Critter looking for a pass of his own. Yukio going to clear this one away. Raya getting another 50 in the midfield, but Yukio has the potential for a double tap, looking for it. Not going to put that one on target though. Kopente gonna pick this ball back up in the midfield. Gonna pass this one out to Fort. Fort looking for a shot. Not gonna be super heavy touch. And it's gonna be a pretty easy save for the Bishops. Raya gonna clear this one out. Instantly challenged by Kopente in the midfield. And, I mean, the Venom midfield pressure really being very dominant. Fort getting another touch in that midfield area. Not allowing the ball to cross into their half, but it does once again. Kopente needing to clear this one out, but it's a pass to Raya. Not a great shot though. Fort making a great save and a good follow-up touch from Yukio just to clear that one out. And Fort just clearing it once again. Beamar has a potential for a double tap though. He's gonna put this one just off target, and you'd like to see him be able to hit those, especially if Bishops are wanting to take the lead or tie the game and take this game number 1. But unfortunately, not gonna be able to find that one on target. Beamar gets another demo though for his efforts, tries to put that one on target, not going to be able to do so. It's still in the midfield. Beamar just not able to find that shot either, and Venom hold on to a seemingly very good onslaught from the Bishops.
Yeah, no, that was some great offensive pressure by the Bishop. It seemed like they were just a split second away from putting one in the back of the net here. And, you know, I feel like that's the that's a staple for a number 1 team here, an undefeated team. This one they blocked away is, you know, it may seem like there's times where they're going to break a little bit, but they never do. And that's the difference between these undefeated teams and, you know, maybe these teams that go 17-1, 16-2 is, you know, these guys will not break at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, they will play their game through and through. They'll play very good Rocket League, and you really have to force the mistakes out of them. And Bishops have not done so just yet. They have put up 1 goal in that early kickoff goal, but since then have lacked the finishing potential that we've seen from a lot of these higher rated teams. But they're still keeping that pressure up. Beamar keeping this one in the midfield, gets bumped for his efforts, but does get a follow-up 50. Is still able to stay on the ball, gets a touch bottom right corner, and he's going to put that one home just past Yukio.
Yeah, and Beamar, he has been the offense here for the Bishop. Just good speed, avoids that demo from Fort, and just out of the reach of Yukio. And another great shot from him here, and the Bishops all tied up here with this undefeated Venom squad here. Gotta look for that next one here, see if they can steal away this game number 1.
Yeah, and I mean, they definitely have stepped up. They have been going toe-to-toe with this Venom roster, who is favored heavily as that number 1 seed going into the playoffs, having that potential perfect season. And I mean, it's very good to see signs of life. If they can take game 1 and really start gaining their own momentum, they can build off that very heavily. But Venom not going to allow that as easily as they thought. The potential shot coming out. Yukio getting a beat on Critter, going to the back wall. Beamar gonna have to catch this one. Gets a beat on 2. Kopente gonna have to be that 3rd man midfield presence. He gets his flip reset though, tries to get it under Raya, but Raya gonna get that pre-flip there and get the dunk. Yukio looking for a clear, into the Bishop's half. Beamar just going to pick this one up nice and slow, take his time in the corner, does get bumped, but is still able to clear it. Not a great touch coming out from Fort, gets demoed by Critter. A 2v1 happening. Critter beats one, trying to get this one on target, but not able to do so. Critter just slightly off target. Beamar not able to follow that one up either. Raya getting a potential double here, looking for a third touch, gets a pass to Critter. Critter putting it off the back wall. Kopente getting a clear high, gets a beat on Critter, relieving some of that pressure, and with the clock dwindling down, it looks like we're going to go to game 1 overtime unless something happens, but no, it is going to hit the ground. We are going to overtime in game number 1. Who will come out victorious? Will Bishops be able to steal game 1 and allow their momentum to start, or will Venom keep their dominance? It looks like a pass to Fort. Fort looking for a flick past Critter, but Critter, a great dunk, going back into the Venom half. Kopente having to rush back, gets demoed for his efforts. A miss coming out from Raya actually turns into a shot from Beamar. Bottom right corner, not in though! And Beamar just off the post, trying to get a follow-up. Critter having to do a little team bump to try to get a 50. Raya playing this one into the corner, but Kopente's already there. Critter getting a touch, having to be double committed on with Beamar just to make sure that that shot does not go in. Yukio looking for a pass in the midfield, and Fort dunking through 2 members of the Bishops roster and putting that one home to give Venom the game 1 victory.
Yeah, and that's a great reconnecting pass out, and Fort just over the top of 2. The post is kind for the 17-0 Venom, able to send that one in the back of the net. Oh, but Ventus, it was so close there for them to take that game number 1. The ball just ringing off the bottom right there. And Bishops, they really had their chances. And that, like I said, that's the toughest thing when you play an undefeated team. You have to be nearly perfect, in that game. And unfortunately for Bishops, it just wasn't quite perfect enough. And Venom able to squeak out the overtime victory.
Yeah, and there is a super great chance by Beamar there, getting that shot perfectly placed in the bottom right corner, but it just hit the post and went out. And if he got the turn of luck of the Rocket League gods that Fort did in that overtime goal, we could be seeing a completely different series right now. And with Venom being able to take game 1, we talked about how crucial it was for Bishops to win that one. How do you think this will affect the rest of the series?
I mean, it's gonna make it even more tough than it already was. I feel like the Bishops, they do have confidence, and I could see the confidence in them when they were challenging these balls, when they were trying to play. But they just have to meet Venom on every challenge, on every play, and like you mentioned, force those mistakes from Venom. And unfortunately, they didn't quite force enough mistakes, but Venom, they did look shaky. I can't lie. In that game number 1, they looked a little shaky, but Bishop's just not quite able to find enough capitalization. And now in the game number 2, Bishops, they need a big one right here. Again, to you're not going to reverse sweep the 17-0 Venom squad. I'd love to see it, but I highly doubt it here. So Bishops, you got to lock in. Come get this first goal here, and put Venom a little bit on the back foot.
Yeah, I think if Bishops can continue their strong play that they did in game number 1 and keep going toe-to-toe with Venom, especially if they gain an early goal and an early lead, I can definitely see them being able to hold on as Critter looking for an air dribble, almost gets it past that last defender in Kopente. Beamar already up. Riot putting a shot on target, but Yukio, pre-jump save, is able to get there. Yukio getting a follow-up touch, but Beamar's there. A double commit on both sides. Yukio going to be first to this ball. Critter going to have to get a touch, but it's going to be cut away by Raya. Raya helping his teammate out, but not a great touch there. It's actually going to work as a back pass to Critter. Critter getting a flick on 2. Raya looking for a pass back to Critter. Critter putting a shot on target, and that one going to go home. And Bishops with a great 1-2-3 passing play.
Oh my goodness, and Critter with the great flick, Raya with the great pass, and then Critter with the bar down finish, and that looked really good right there from Bishops, and they are continuing that good offense that we saw in that game number 1. A great first goal from them, and now for them here, Aventus, you can't let off the gas. Don't let that one goal lead you. Here's Beamar. Oh my goodness, he's trying to put that one down, but Kopente is gonna help him out. You got to keep the offense going here if you're the Bishops here. You can't just say we got a 1-goal lead against Venom, let's hold on. No, you got to keep the pedal to the metal, keep the pace.
Yeah, they definitely have to play all gas, no brakes here, but unfortunately Fort gonna put this one into the back of the net, ruining that momentum that Bishops had gained so hard. And I mean, just a great shot from Fort. Really takes that momentum away from the Bishops. and basically sets the scoring bits even. Now everything's reset, and Bishops have to work from square one again.
Yeah, and when you're working from square one against this against this Venom team, you know it's a scary task here if you're the Bishops. But like I said, they haven't played too bad here thus far. Let's just see if they can keep the pressure going.
Yeah, and we will see with Bishops already getting some more pressure. Raya with a shot on target, but Yukio clearing this one away. A double commit coming out, but Kopente having to dive as that third man as well. A little bit of an overcommit coming out. Critter not able to get a touch into the midfield, but it's going to end up being a pass to Raya, and Raya putting this one off to the backboard. Yukio and Fort committing another double commit. Critter taking this ball directly off of Kopente's car, clearing this one back into the Venom half. Raya putting this one onto the backboard once again. Bimar getting a 50 on Fort, but Yukio going to follow that one first. Raya awkward in the corner. Fort gets the boost, gets the pass. Critter with a great save away, and Yukio having to run back for boost, allowing Critter to keep the possession. Yukio having to clear the ball across the field. Bimar getting the collection in that midfield. A pass coming out. Kopente electing to leave it, understanding there's no threat coming out. Yukio. A pass to Kopente. Kopente passing to Fort. Fort looking for the shot, not going to be on target, but Yukio going to be there for a follow-up. Gets a little bit of a fake. Bimar not able to find a touch there. Kopente electing to leave it once again for Fort, who passes it into the corner. Kopente looking for a pass, goes for the bump, and luckily for Critter, Critter was able to get a touch on that one, able to dodge that bump, keeping this ball nice and slow, keeping the possession, forcing Venom back to their half once again. Raya looking for a pass off the backboard. Not a touch coming out from Yukio. Bimar putting a shot on target. That's going to go post and out. But Raya there for a follow, but an even crazier save from Kopente. Able to keep the Venom defense intact once again. Amazing save coming out. Venom still on the attack now. Kopente gets demoed for his efforts. Bimar taking it nice and slow, keeping his possession, looking for a flick pass one, does get it. He's going to follow up this touch. He's not able to get a touch on it, though, as Fort able to clear this one out. Critter not able to get a touch either. This could be a counterattack. Kopente passing it to Fort. Fort with an open net, and all he's got to do is put it on target, and all gas, no brakes for the Bishops till the wheels fell off.
Yeah, the wheels are going to fall off here. No third man, not there in time. I think it was a demo, perhaps. Maybe just a little bit of a misrotation on that one. And yeah, unfortunately, Venom is going to capitalize. But I want to go back to that Kopente save because I thought for sure Bishops had that one. It was teetering on the goal line, and Kopente might be the best goal line defender I've ever seen, Ventus, because that man, when this ball is on the net, when it's like hanging on the goal line and he has to come out of the net to try to save it, like he saves it every time almost. Like this guy is just a defensive menace on that end. It was a great save. It, you know, held the tied game and eventually, you know, allowed Venom to get this lead right here in game number 2. And now with a minute, they just got to hold on, and it's Bishops who have to try to put the pressure back.
Yeah, and Kopente has been playing absolutely phenomenal. All three of the members from Venom have played very solid. Kopente obviously as that big star player to look out for. I mean, all three of these players on Venom are great in their own right and all-star players. But Kopente, the big addition, I believe, onto this Venom roster, looking to take them from a great team to a perfect team, as he's going to have to play defense once again, clearing this one out to Fort. Fort trying to collect this one, gets a touch, looking to get it in past Raya, getting a pass into the midfield, but Kopente is going to be demoed. Yukio playing it off the sidewall, looking for his second touch. He's going to touch it. I think it was a sidewall read, and that one's going to go in. It looks like the defender just non-existent for the Bishops.
It looks like, I guess he barely got the touch on that one. It didn't really do much to the speed of the ball, but Critter could not quite get back. A great shot from Yukio to send it in, and with 19 seconds remaining now, the Bishops probably going to have to be looking at game number 3 to try to pull their reverse sweep back against Venom. And like I previously mentioned, it is going to be a very, very, very tall task. Might be the tallest task we've ever seen in a Nemesis match.
Yeah, I mean, we're just setting it up for the content. You know, we already wrote the script out that Bishops were going to take it to a game 5 with Venom in reverse sweep fashion. We're just letting the game play out. You know, Venom, another goal just to end off game number 1. It looks like Fort just putting a little bit of an open net on target, little stat pad for the Nemesis fantasy players who might still be in the running for the championship, like I am, who have Fort. So I'm very excited about that little garbage time goal coming out from the Venom But I mean, Venom once again just playing their game. Bishop's really showing out though, really contesting Venom. I know the scoreline says 4-1, but I think Bishop's played a lot better than we really give them credit for. The scoreline really dictates. They're going toe to toe with Venom, forcing Kopente to make some crazy saves. I mean, if Kopente hadn't made that double save in off his own backline, I mean, Bishops would have gone up in the game, and maybe the game could have played out differently.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It often comes down to those one or two plays, in the middle of the match, and we talked about it. To beat a team that's trying to go perfect, you almost have to play perfect yourself here, and unfortunately, Bishops just couldn't quite get that first shot on target, the one that rang off the post there, and that allowed Venom to bring it back. And now they got to try to pull off the reverse sweep here, Ventus. It's gonna be tough here. Again, I don't want to keep being a dead horse here, but if you're Bishops, you got to try to score the first goal here and then just keep that pressure going, because we know Venom, they're going to be unrelenting. As Critter's going to have to make a save on the goal line. So Bishops, the only thing you can really do is keep the pressure, because I feel like they've had really good offense. You just gotta capitalize on your opportunities and put them on target into the back of the net.
Yeah, and hopefully Bishops will be able to do that, give us a little bit more of that content, force Venom to sweat a little bit as they're looking for their perfect season, but Fort looking for a double tap, not going to have the boost to follow that one up. Kopente looking for a shot as well, but not going to be able to get there. But a bad touch from Beamar actually allows Kopente to put a shot towards the backboard. Unfortunately, not going to go in. Yukio looking for a pass to Kopente. Kopente on the back wall, puts a pass middle to Fort, and Critter super awkward, not expecting such a great pass to come out from Kopente on the back wall, and Venom catch Bishops lacking once again on defense.
Yeah, and that's just, you can just see the team chemistry with Venom. I mean, sending that one to the sidewall and Kopente is just there and waiting, ready to dribble it home, finding the pass, and Fort is right there. I mean, you can see why this team has gone undefeated up to this point and why they're looking poised to do so. And I mean, just a great play from them right there.
Yeah, I mean, Venom once again showing why they are the 1 seed, why they are the favorite to win Challenger League this season is Kopente looking for an air dribble over Raya. Raya getting a great save. Fort getting a 50 back into the midfield. Yukio gonna pick this ball up, getting a 50 once again on Beamar. Critter gonna clear this one out into the midfield. Gonna follow up his touch, but not gonna be able to do so much. Does get a bump though. Raya looking for a pass, going for a bump, leaving the ball for Beamar. Beamar getting a great touch as a reactionary touch in the midfield. Crater getting a beat on Yukio, but not going to do much. But a pinch to the backboard might allow Raya to put a shot towards net, but not going to be on target. Looks like Venom, very low boost. Fort having to make a good touch. Does so, but it's still in the midfield. Beamar getting a 50. It's going back to the net of Venom. Kopente having to get a good save. Once again, Venom playing a lot of defense, even though they are up. Bishop's bringing the pressure towards the Venom roster. Critter getting a clear out. Once again, Raya looking for a redirect. Gets the first touch, looking for the double tap. Not going to put that one on target as Fort getting a beat on Beamar. Critter, a great third man commit, allowing the Venom roster to fall back onto defense and rush back and allow Bishops to create some more pressure. Even though they only have one shot, they have sustained a lot of pressure into the Venom half. But Fort trying to put a shot on target. Beamar trying to just get this one away. Critter having to help him out there as he gets a long booming clear. Not a great touch from Kopente as this one going to stay in the midfield, but he's able to follow that one up. But Raya going to be first to this ball, going for an air dribble, electing to leave it. Tries to go for a fake, but Yukio all over that one. Yukio going to follow this touch up. Trying to just keep possession, gets a beat on one. It's going to stay in the midfield. Beamar having to clear this one away, but it's still back in the midfield. Kopente trying to put a shot on target. It's just going to go wide into the corner of the Bishop's half. Fort looking for a center once again, but nothing going to happen with that one as Kopente needs to keep the presence in the midfield. A pass to Yukio, and this Venom roster are just very, very solid with their passes to each other in the midfield, allowing themselves to transition very efficiently, and it has been very good and allowed Venom just to play their play style and not experience much counter as Kopente gonna just put this ball in the back of the net off of his own touch to the backboard, and Yukio Fort running interference there on the defense.
Yeah, Fort was getting that bump there, and Kopente just a great follow. But yeah, going back to your point there is, yeah, Venom, they really do. They just find each other. It seems like every touch, is purposeful. and every touch is either finding a teammate or opening themselves up for some more space. And the rotations are really good. You see Copenhagen right there, ready to follow whatever happens with Fort's touch. He's ready to go, and that's a sign of a great team there. They just can connect on every ball. They find each other on every touch. Great opportunities, great bumps. This one coming down there, and with a minute remaining, Bishops once again gonna need a miracle. Otherwise, we will see the 5th ever perfect regular season.
Yeah, I mean, with going into the postseason perfect, it can add a lot more pressure onto these teams because they are trying to keep their perfect season alive. They are going as that 1 seed, as the favorite to win the entire league in the Challenger League. But I think with this Venom roster, I think they have what it takes to take that pressure, and pressure makes diamonds. I think they're just gonna get even better, and use that pressure to fuel their play and just put on great performances. But with the clock ticking down with 10 seconds, Bishops are gonna need a goal here and now. As Bmar putting a shot on target. Bishops aren't quite out of it yet. It's a tall task, but they are one step of the way there.
And they've had great offense, a lot of the times here. Finally, they get a win over Venom, not quite ready. And 10 seconds remaining. It all comes down to this kickoff. Can they somehow force overtime?
Yeah, and we will see as the clock just under 10 seconds now. Critter with a shot potentially on target. It's going to go wide. It's going to pop up, though, Bmar. And Bmar getting a beat on Fort. It's going to bounce from the midfield. Critter going to elect to leave this one to Copenhagen. Elect to pick up his touch. Critter getting a 50 into the midfield. Raya trying to get a touch into the midfield once again, but Venom gonna just bump him and drop the ball. Venom go undefeated. They go 18-0 as the 1 seed, and Bishops, even though they had a great fight, just unfortunately were not enough for this Venom roster.
Yeah, they weren't quite enough, and like we mentioned, there's a big reason why this Venom team has gotten to this point. You can see the pressure, you can see the passing plays. I mean, they did everything that they needed to do, and it's so impressive, Ventus, here, that this team is 18-0, only the 5th team ever in Nemesis history to go undefeated in the regular season. And now they're gonna have to see, heading into the postseason. You mentioned it. It can be a lot of added pressure to be that undefeated team. Obviously, if you're in this position, you want to make the history, you want to win, and give yourselves the chance to be perfect in the regular season. But it does add that pressure. And coming in the playoffs, when you got the best of the best trying to take you down, and not only did they have a target on themselves, in the regular season like that, where teams are, I want to be the one team that takes them down. I got to be the team that takes them down. In the postseason, it's everything right here, and these teams are going to be prepared, and they're going to be coming for Venom. I mean, 4-time champions in the Challenger League, undefeated. That's a lot of target on my back right there if I'm Venom, and they definitely have to keep their eyes peeled and stay locked in come playoff time. Otherwise, there's a good chance you could see some sort of upset.
I definitely agree. It can add a lot of pressure, but if there is one team to do it, I think it can definitely be Venom. The roster played amazingly. Even with a little bit of their miscommunications and double commits, they were still able to easily find each other with passes. And overall, I mean, you can't ask much more from a 1 seed. I will like to update you about the rival league, though. It seems like Whiteout was able to sweep the Chimeras, ending their potential play-in run. We will see a rematch of Lightspeed versus Distortion in that 9 and 10 play-in spot, which should be a very big treat. We will get to see Distortion trying to use that fire in their loss to Lightspeed to fuel them to potentially get a upset victory and lead them farther into the play-in run. So that's a very interesting tidbit of information there.
Yeah, no, that is very interesting. Yeah, Whiteout gonna claim the number 1 seed with that win as well. So they definitely had a lot to play for in that final matchup. So yeah, we'll definitely keep our eyes peeled on all the leagues. I mean, a great regular season thus far. We've had a lot of crazy matchups. The last results are coming in, so the postseason field is almost set. And before we do dive a little bit more into that, I do want to bring up our premium subscriber screen and give a couple shout outs here to end off the night. Shout out to all of our Nemesis premium subscribers, especially our Challenger Plus subscribers: Crotera, Noah, Wiggle, Critter, Fenrir, Parker, Jax, Neon's Rare, Speed, and Street Soul. Once again, thank you everyone who has supported us thus far this season, all the subs in the Discord and on Twitch. Everything you guys do goes back to supporting the league and has helped fund caster and streamer payouts for this season. So if you're enjoying the stream and you're willing and able to, do feel free to support the commentators and streamers that way. But yeah, Ventus, I mean, now coming into it, I mean, heading into next week, we start the playoffs, or well, not the playoffs, the postseason with the play-ins next week here. So challenger, rival, and prospect will all have matches up next season or next week. And I mean, it's gonna be a crazy time next week, Ventus, with all those matches.
Yeah, I mean, those play-in matches are really going to be a big decider. Those teams who can take that momentum in the play-ins, really show their stuff, and prove that they are one of these top teams, and then take their momentum to potentially upset some of those top seeds that have proven their way through the regular season, are super interesting, especially for these rosters that might not have been the same throughout the entire season. Maybe it was a later season pickup where they, like Lightspeed, where they added Landon and Deco in the later half, and now all of a sudden Lightspeed have looked very good on stream. They could be some team that teams do not want to face in the actual playoffs. They're hoping they get knocked out in the play-ins, but those teams that they can use that momentum and bring forward and just give us some great content. So I'm super excited for those matchups.
Yeah, no, it is. It is definitely gonna be a great playoffs, a great postseason. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Make sure you guys follow the channel if you haven't already. Very close to 2,500 followers. Actually, we did just hit 2,500 followers on the channel. So much love to everyone for all the support with that one. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Ventus, I'll let you send us away for the night. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, we had some great matches. There are even more to come, though, so stay tuned for the play-in matches next week. I believe that's when the start of play-ins happens. I mean, there are going to be some great matches. You do not want to miss that. But until next time, I'm Ventus. I was joined in the booth by Rockerman, and we will see you next time.